What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys Arkham City Build-A-Figure Solonon Grundy. And so here we have Solonon Grundy fully assembled. Now, unfortunately, being a Build-A-Figure, he gets no accessories, which is disappointing. I would have liked it if his chest came out like the DC Direct version, but unfortunately, it does not. So Grundy gets nothing. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Solonon Grundy. So here we have a closer look at Solonon Grundy, and I have to say McFarlane has done a really good job with the sculpting on this figure. They absolutely nailed the likeness of Grundy from Arkham City, and I really do like the way he came out. Now, unfortunately, there are some issues that we gotta talk about, and we'll go through that as we have a look at the rest of the figure. As far as aesthetics go, he looks very good. I absolutely love the head sculpt. It is very zombie-ish, I guess, zombie-like. And I really do like the decaying flesh right here on his mouth, exposing his teeth. Really do like the veins that you can see right here, and his hair is slicked back. Yeah, he looks very undead, so I really do like that. Really good likeness, and I really love those eyes. If only those eyes had like a luminescence to them where they would reflect light, I think that would be so much better. But yeah, overall I do like the head sculpt. As far as the body goes, they did a really good job painting Grundy up. He's not just cast in gray plastic, he actually has a little bit of like this greenish overtone to him. I would have liked to see his veins painted blue, because in the game he does have like blue electricity coursing through him. At least in this stage of the fight, as you progress, the blue turns yellow. But I do like the fact that they did green up all his joints right here, like where he was sewn together. It does look really good, and I really do like his jacket here. Solonon Grundy is known for having a jacket and being, you know, pale white, but the texturing on this jacket is phenomenal. McFarlane did an absolutely great job with this figure. You can see how much detailing they put into it. The detailing right here on his jacket, it's very well done. Absolutely gorgeous sculpt work by McFarlane. Even here on his arms you can see the stitch work, and like I said, they did add these green seam lines, which it does look cool, I will admit that, but a little more paint making these veins blue would have been really good. Seeing as how he's a Build-A-Figure, I guess they should have done a little more paint job on him, but overall he does look alright. The chains, I do have a little bit of an issue. I thought the chains were more of a rusted steel color. I think this is too much rust. They're practically Home Depot orange, which, yeah, that's not the look I would have liked. I would have liked it if they were in metallic silver and then just brushed over with some orange. I think that would have been much better. Same problem here, but I do like the fact that he comes with a fist and a grip hand. It would have been nice if he came with two clawing hands and two fists. That would have been really good. And then you can see his pants right here are torn. They're held together only by a green belt. They're reusing the greens for this figure, just letting you guys know. Having a look at his pants carry that exact same texture on him, so I do like that. You can see right there, that's the color of his skin without any paint. So they did forget to paint this small little tear right here, just because you can see he does have like green wash throughout the rest of the body. The seam line again looks really good. It's really creepy looking. Kneecaps looks really good. Overall, Solonon Grundy's sculpt work is impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's better than I would have expected it to have been, despite being a Build-A-Figure. And I think that's where my main issue comes with Solonon Grundy, is that he is a Build-A-Figure. He is grossly underscaled in this figure. Now, if you guys want a size comparison, I will do that right now. But yeah, Grundy here is tiny in comparison to his in-game counterpart, which I'm very disappointed in. Grundy should be much bigger, and we'll have a better look at that right now as we have a look at his size comparison, and we're going to compare him to other figures you guys might have in your collection. Here we have Solonon Grundy posing next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Solonon Grundy posing next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Solonon Grundy posing next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have Solomon Grundy posed next to the Arkham City Batman. So as you saw with the comparisons, he is relatively small. If he were to be in scale with the Arkham City Batman should only be about the size of his thigh or his leg here. That's just telling you how big Solomon Grundy was in the game and how undersized this figure is. The fact that Batman is up to his shoulder, when for reals, Batman should only be up to his thigh right there. So yeah, so Grundy here is grossly misscaled, and I'm very disappointed in that. Even with a mega figure would have been too small. There's just no scale that McFarlane has made that would make this figure proper size. They would have to do a mega figure where he's like twice the size of a mega figure and costs $60. But yeah, moving on to his articulation, he does have a double ball joint in the head, but unfortunately he doesn't get much range out of that. That's a little bit unfortunate. He can tilt his head side to side slightly, and it does turn left and right, a little bit hindered by his jacket, which you can remove that, but then his neck gets in the way. His shoulders are on ball joints, so they do pivot forward and back very slightly. It's almost non-existent. Up and down, again, almost non-existent. Going out to the side, no problem. He does clotheslines perfectly fine. And now his joints are really stiff. I already applied some shock oil, but yeah, you can still hear that squeak. It is very stiff. Even with the shock oil that I put in it, you still hear that squeak. So yeah, be very careful managing these arms on Grundy. They might be too tight. You might have to shave some plastic down just so they don't squeak. But yeah, they do go all the way around. They do go out at an angle just because of how his jacket is designed. We do have a single bend here at the elbow, as well as rotation here, which works okay. He does have a hinge in the wrist, and it's just a hinge. It's not a ball hinge, so it only hinges in and out, and then it does rotate. Now, unfortunately, Grundy doesn't have any mid-torso cut. He only has a lower ball joint here at the waist, which does pivot side to side. Goes back very slightly because of how his jacket is, but it does lean forward quite a bit, so it is functional and it does rotate. His legs, I do have another issue with that. The legs don't really stay attached as well as they should. If you try moving them too far, they will pop out, and that's about as far as I'm willing to push it, because every other time I try pushing it a little bit further, the leg pops out. So yeah, do be careful with that. You might have to heat up this joint and really force it in there, but it does move out to the side to about right there, and the crotch piece is made of a thick rubber, so it does limit that movement. We do have a slight thigh swivel. Single bend here at the knee works okay, giving us a little bit less than 90 degrees. Does it rotate at that knee? No, it doesn't, but he does have a hinge in the ankle which goes back and goes forward. It's a little bit stiff on mine, so it might be stiff on yours as well. We do have a rocker ankle, which is at an awkward angle, to be quite honest. Yeah, that is not the best angle. And then of course we do have a toe hinge with no ankle rotation. So Grundy here has some pretty okay articulation for a man of his size, but yeah, I am a little bit disappointed. He's too small and the articulation could have been thought out a little bit better. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Solomon Grundy posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane Toys Arkham City Solomon Grundy pose for my final thoughts, and overall, I'm kind of mixed between this figure. I really do love the sculpt work that went into this figure. The paint job is adequate for what he is. There's some paint choices that I'm a little bit iffy on, especially with the chain, but overall I like the overall design of Solomon Grundy. Now, he does have some issues, especially in terms of articulation and scale. If you guys are a fan of the Arkham City universe, you know that Solomon Grundy was massive. If you really wanted to make a Solomon Grundy for the Arkham line and make him in scale with a 7-inch Batman, Solomon Grundy would probably be like 15, 16 inches. Like I said, if McFarlane were to actually do that, they would have to make like a mega figure and probably charge $60 or $80 for it. Kind of like how DC Classics Collectibles did. But yeah, I'm very disappointed with the size of Solomon Grundy. He's smaller than the Last Night on Earth Bane, which that's surprising. I would have thought that he'd be like Atrocitus size, because Atrocitus was practically a mega figure in his own right, but Solomon Grundy here, he kind of just feels like Devastator, who is undersized, underscaled, and really isn't living up to his full potential. I'm sorry, Grundy, but choices in your life made you not live up to potential. You need to go back and rethink your life. Thankfully, you have an eternity to do that, but yeah, this figure, guys, I really want to recommend it, but I honestly can't. If you're a diehard Arkham City fan, it might just be easier to track down the giant figure that DC Collectibles made, even though it's very, very expensive these days. But yeah, if you want a Solomon Grundy with scale, that's the way to go. This is a good alternative, I guess. I don't have that original Grundy figure, but this one, I don't really have a place that I can put him. He's very small. He doesn't fit in with comic book. He doesn't fit in with the Arkham City. If you had the 3 3/4 Mattel Arkham City figures, he might fit in scale there. But yeah, really disappointed with Grundy's size and articulation, but his overall design looks good, and he still has some aesthetically pleasing elements to him, so he might just go on my desk as a display piece and be on his own. But yeah, honestly guys, this is a disappointing figure if you were expecting something much bigger. So yeah, I just gotta call it as I see it, and if you want to pick up this Grundy, go ahead. I do feel like there's a couple of figures in this wave that are meh and some that are actually good. Grundy here should have been a topping that made this figure or this series worth the pickup, but in all honesty, he's just kind of okay. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.